Okay, hey travelers, welcome back to the channel. Today on the channel, we're going to go ahead and do the landscaping for A Cottage for Kay. It has been a really long time since I have recorded anything, and I have missed you guys, so that's why I'm back, because I've missed doing this work. I am using a new microphone setup, so I won't know until I'm editing whether or not there's extra sounds you can hear since my microphone is clipped onto my t-shirt. Anyway, travelers, I've been gone a long time because I was having some mental health problems, but also I was absolutely 100% for the last almost 2 months of my life obsessed with Pokopia. My partner has a Switch too. It was one of the things that we invested in when they got their bonus this year. They get a bonus every year, but it's dependent on how well the store is doing. And this year it was okay for them to drop the money on the Switch too, and I was totally fine with it, and I still am. And we got Pokopia, and I've been obsessed. It's been hard to tear me away. And they are the same way when they are home. It is hard to tear them away from it at all. Anyway, so with that and mental health issues, I just wasn't in the mood to record, and I didn't know when I would be, or honestly, if I'd be coming back at all. Now, with my new mic setup, I'm considering also doing like book talk type stuff. Like, I have a lot of books now that we have all our stuff in the pod. I have a lot of books that I have never read because I just buy these books because I'm told, they're really good books, and I read the covers or the synopsis, plots. I read about the author, etc., and I'm like, ooh, that sounds great. And then I buy the book, and then they just sit there because I have a lot of books to read, and I'm always reading something. So, and I'm in a book club with my family members, and we're reading a whole different other thing. So yeah, but I have a lot of books. So I was wondering if you guys would be interested in hearing my thoughts on the books I'm reading. It wouldn't be a me on camera thing because I'm just not comfortable with that. But it would be I just realized I don't know whether or not my screen is recording. Yeah, it is. Okay. Okay. I'll cut that part out. All right. So anyway, it would be like a black screen with the photo of the book on it, and I might even include like photos of excerpts from the book, like pages that I wanted to talk about or whatever. And I'd probably also break down on screen the synopsis of like the plot, but also like what the main characters are, and then my thoughts. I thought maybe that would be interesting for you guys, but if not, you let me know. Because I feel like I could put out a pretty good series of here are the books I'm reading now. And if I should do it on a separate channel, you let me know. I think Travingo-tales as a channel name covers a variety of programming, basically. So yeah. And then I also am trying to get back into posting what I eat in a days, but that is complicated based on the fact that not everything from the pod is unpacked. So I don't know where my camera is at current moment. And filming on my phone is always a little because it's not an iPhone, it's an Android, and so its camera is always a little bit. I kind of want the Google phone, the flippy one, the weird screen one, but I don't think I can afford it. So anyway, we are back with A Cottage for Kay. This is definitely a different lot than the one I had before. I moved her cottage to a small lot in the same world. There is the lot that I built for a house, home for Tate, or a house for Tate, one of the two. And so here's the Cottage for Kay. And then my Travingo family Sims live across this bridge over here, and you can't see it because you can't go that way in the world when you're loaded on a lot. But yeah, so we all live near each other now. And I think that makes sense and is really good. Okay, so here is the Cottage for Kay. And I surrounded it in a different fence than what you saw before, and I put it on this smaller lot. And today we really are just going to go ahead and do landscaping for this. And so it should be a pretty short video because it's a really small lot. It doesn't require a whole lot of landscaping, just some. And then additionally to that, I also just wanted to update you on what's coming up on our channel now that I'm back, because I am back. And I'm really happy to be back. I'm looking forward to recording. So What's up next is after this, we'll do part one. I don't think it'll be more than one part, actually. I think A Cottage for Kay will be the previous video, this video, and one other, because the next one is furnishing it. And as you know, it is a cottage, so it's not like huge. It's small. You know, she's got like a kitchen, a living room, this like pantry, mudroom sort of space that I'll probably put laundry in. I've already done all the walls and the floors. There's a huge bathroom back here just because it's the bathroom for both of these rooms up here. And I think it's the only bathroom. No, there's a second bathroom. Oh, I forgot that I was doing a bathroom and laundry off the kitchen over here. I wonder why I made her bathroom this big. Maybe I intend on enclosing the loo. That would make sense because otherwise this bathroom's way too big. So let's go ahead and build out an area to enclose the actual loo so that it doesn't look as ginormous as this feels. And then we'll take this door again and we'll put it this way. And that gives us room for a tub and a shower and a good sink. So that's definitely what we'll do. Anyway, so I've already done all of this effort, like all the walls, all the floors, etc. So the one thing I want to make sure I do is put together ceiling tiles. So I'm going to go with the gray hardwood for the ceiling just because it's pretty. And I think that my sister would like it being this pretty. The ceiling, I mean. I honestly think she'd be thrilled with the ceiling being that pretty. So that's what we'll do for the ceiling. Okay, anyway, so there we go. There's the ceiling done. And I've already done the floors and the walls and planned out which rooms are what. I totally forgot that this is a bathroom and this is the laundry area. I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll put laundry back here. But this is like a pantry mudroom space, but laundry won't be in here. So maybe we'll do something interesting with it. We'll see. For the furnishing. But the furnishing, I don't think will be 2 videos. I think it'll just be kind of a long one video because it is a cottage. It's small. So today we're going to go ahead and get started on the landscaping. Oh, and that's the thing. I got distracted. I distracted myself somehow. So yeah, I hope you guys like my new microphone setup. I hope that it works for you and that it is easier to hear me and less like garbly with noise. I even hope that maybe, just maybe, the heater and air conditioner won't be picked up by this new mic. We'll see though. Okay, so the only other thing I wanted to discuss is what else is coming up on the channel. So we are definitely doing Sims 4 content this month until the end of May when Paralives comes out, because Paralives is supposed to drop on the 26th of May, and it's May the 5th now. I don't know. Is it May 5th today, or is it the 4th still? Let's find out. That's an easy thing to look up on my phone. And we will see, because if it's still the 4th, yes, it's May the 4th. Hey, May the 4th be with you guys. We miss you, Space Mom. We do. May the 4th be with you. Okay, so tomorrow we've got plans to get some of our cats spayed or neutered. We run a cat sanctuary, not officially yet. We still have to file for the nonprofit stuff and all that, but we run a cat sanctuary, and tomorrow we're getting the female cats spayed. So then Wednesday and tomorrow after that is just some other stuff, bill pay stuff. And then I'm doing some more channel work on Thursday. So yeah, my week is pretty wide open in terms of channel work. So anyway, so as I was saying, Paralives comes out on like the 26th, which I believe is a Tuesday, yes. And I'm really looking forward to recording for that. I really want that to work out. I got money for Steam for my birthday. My birthday was at the end of April, very end of April. And I've been saving up that Steam money for Paralives. So at the end of May, we'll start to cover Paralives. But until then, we'll be in Sims 4. And one of the videos I'm really looking forward to doing is I'm going to do a Sims 4 build that's inspired by Pokobia. So basically, I'm going to build a house that's inspired by like the homes that you can, the prefab homes that you can place down in Pokopia, and like it's inside and outside will have like habitats for Pokemon. And but Sims 4, because like some stuff in the game really translates well to the things that Sims 4 has in its game, like stuff that can definitely make a habitat. So that's going to be the next video up after A Cottage for Kay is complete, is a Sims 4 build that's inspired by Pokopia. And I'm really looking forward to doing that. And it's one of the reasons why I came back, because I was really looking forward to it and I keep thinking about it. And then additionally to that, I was hoping to maybe discuss books on my channel, maybe do some what I eat in a days. Those might be shorts. We'll see. I'm not really good at creating short content, so again, we will have to see. And then I want to do, like I said, end of May, probably all of June, Paralives, because I didn't cover Inzoi very well. Is that what that one's called? It's like Inzoi, something like that. Inzoi. I only like did one video on it because, to be perfectly honest, its game mechanics and the way it runs really overwhelmed me and made me feel like it wasn't fun. And I'm not gonna record stuff if it's not fun, unless it's to like rag on it so bad. Like the one game, the Greek game that was stylized after both Pharaoh and Zeus and Caesar. Those games from the 90s, anyways, that I played. That one was so horrible, and I actually genuinely enjoyed being like, this game sucks worse than every game in the history of life, and I enjoyed that. It was fun, but that's not fun to do in general. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started on the landscaping. First off, we're gonna hit Control-Shift-C on my keyboard because I play on my PC, and I'm gonna hit bb.move objects on. And that is because with landscaping, I like the plants and flowers to be as close together as possible. So then the other thing I wanted to say is this build will be up on the gallery when it's finished, and it'll be up on its own. And then after Paralyze, I'm hoping to come back to this series where I build homes for people I love in my family. And the next up will be the Travingo family home in this world, in the Moonwood Mills world. Moonwood Mills, that's what it's called, right? And we'll build a house there on the lot that you've already seen with the pond and all of that. It won't have Kay's cottage on it, but that's okay. It might have like a little outbuilding for like pottery, because Sims 4 pottery is a thing, and I would love to be a potter in real life. Anyway, so today there won't be a CC, but some stuff flags as custom content. Like this, for example, the festive fronds palm tree was from an event that Sims 4 had, and all the event items, for some strange reason, flag as CC, even though they actually technically aren't, because they're things EA itself gave us. So technically, they aren't. If I had the tool mod installed, I'd probably put trees around the Cottage for Kay, but I don't, so I'm not gonna. What I am gonna do is try to pick out trees I feel like my sister would actually like the look of, like ones she would enjoy. So I'm gonna pick up these two red ones, which is from Snowy Escape. This is the Japanese maple tree. And then this one is from Island Living, and I don't know how to pronounce this, but I'm gonna say it's Izora. It could be Xora, but X's is usually kind of pronounced as a Z. Anyway, I'm going to take these and we're going to shrink them once, which is just the bracket key on your keyboard. And I'm going to hold Alt and kind of put them, this one specifically, shrunk once around the pink tree. Just like that. Partially because my sister likes the combination of red and white together. And I want to make sure that I'm doing things that she would actually like in real life if it were possible. So I'm just going to surround this one tree in these. And again, they are shrunk once. And right now, because I'm too close to it, you can't see the other tree here, but that's okay, because I am really just trying to highlight that combination of those two colors that my sister really loves. They aren't colors I really love. They're ones she does. Yeah, I like that. All right, and then I changed this fence up, and I like this one, but we are going to go ahead and put some plants back here, like shrubbery, I mean, but ones that have color. So I'm going to take these white bushes. These are base game. This one is a blue hydrangea. but it comes in pink or like lavender, lilac maybe, and like a lavender lilac-y color and kind of like a purple. But I'm going to use them only in white, and I'm just going to kind of dot them along the fence line. And then I'm going to mix in some other big flowers as well, just to help that fit in. And I'm going to pull them back to as far as the actual game lets me go, just so I can fill in some other things too. So then we are going to take this one, the pink azaleas, and they only have the one swatch, the one color. And I'm going to just place one next to each of the big hydrangeas. And then I'm going to definitely come in and decide what else. So I'm not going to limit it by pack, by the way. I am not going to be at all careful, even remotely, about what packs I'm using. I like this one, and my sister doesn't like green very much, but I actually feel like this one fills in so well. And you can shrink it down, which is what I've done. I've shrunk it once. And I'm only going to use a couple of them. And then I'm going to go in with this one. This one's from the Royalty and Hobbies pack. And I haven't played with it yet. Like, I bought it a long time ago, and I have not even remotely played with it yet. I think I'm going to go with this light pink swatch. Not everywhere, just in a couple of places. I think 3 is good. And then I also like this one. This is a hydrangea curtain. Isn't that beautiful? Like, that's so stunning. And I think this one could line up pretty well with the side here. I might have to shrink it once. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and put these on the side, but shrunk once down. And we're just going to line them up. Oop, that made it bigger, not smaller. And then I'm going to see whether or not it's one of those things where the swatch lets you change it afterwards, because sometimes it doesn't. Oop, not that one. Yeah, it does. So we also have a white swatch. And I think that will look good alternating. So let's go ahead and shrink it again. And we'll go ahead and put one more. I think we have room for one more shrunk one. Even with that tree there, I think we do have the room. And then that one is, this one's going to be white. Pink, white, pink, white. Yeah, I think that looks great. And then right here, we're just going to put a bush. I think we're going to put this one, the bulbous bush. But I do think I'm going to shrink it down. One, yep. And I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side of the fence. And then we'll go ahead and move to the backyard. But we're going to do the other side of the fence now. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the front bits right here that I left empty. I left these bits empty from terrain paint just so that we could put some plants there. And then we'll move to the backyard. We're going to create a pathway around, I think, to the other door. Put in some plants, but also put in like a spot for gardening as well. And it's a really small backyard, so we do have to be careful about that. And I am probably going to fill plants in all the way along this side on the other side of the fence, right in here too. But without it being in the way of this door. Yeah. So we'll see. I probably could take this side of the fence away and just leave that open. What if I left it open here? Like, what if I shrunk this down and then pulled this one here? That way we wouldn't have to build a path all the way, and we could just leave that right there. And then that way we could take the cobblestone path, which is the one I'm using, cobbled together from Get Together. I think this one's from Get Together. And we could just move it this way. And then we could put some plants right along here too, rather than doing the same thing that we did on that side. I think that looks good actually. And it will mean that we can go ahead and create like a gardening area in here. I'm going to take my terrain paint and pull it up this far to the trash can, because that makes more sense personally to me. Cobbled together. I think she'd like this terrain paint. I think it would speak to her. And then I'm going to go ahead and move this trash can from the side of the house, which is where I had it, just over here. And then I'm also going to, since move objects is on, I'm going to shove the mailbox a little closer. And then I think that leaves space for some gardening if we want to. So let's go ahead and just get the gardening area done. I feel like it being on like a terrain makes better sense than it not. And I think we'll take these ones in red. I think she'd like these ones. All right, so we'll just do that and line that up. I feel like starter herbs would be best for Kay. I don't necessarily 100% think she'd want to grow anything else. And we'll also have her grow garlic seeds. We can do the seasonal plants, but because I can just pull them out because I'm building and there's not a person involved. But I don't know whether or not she'd like those. It's spring now, so let's give the option of spring. It's not spring in the game, but it's spring in my real life. Okay. So, I mean, actually, we're heading towards summer, but it's spring because there's totally like raining today and everything. Okay, sorry. All right, we've already been recording for 20 minutes, so I say this is a pretty good video. Like, I will cut it down a bit in editing, but yeah. Okay, and then let's see if there's any other gardening things I want to do. I feel like Kay would ideally like chickens, but wouldn't necessarily want to take care of them in real life. But in fake life, she could have chickens. We're not going to give any chickens, though. We are, however, going to provide a bike. I'm just going to move it right here. There's a bike. Cool. Actually going to hold Alt and pull it away from the wall so that the bar handles, the bike handles aren't part of the wall. Okay, let's go back to landscaping because that's what we're doing. One of the things I'm going to pull out is lavender, and we have a couple of different kinds of it now. We have this one from the Royalty and Hobbies. Not Royalty and Hobbies, from the Royalty and Legacy pack or whatever. And I think that pack speaks to the kind of person my sister is and would ideally even want to be, which is pretty cool. So I think I'm going to go ahead and filter by that pack, which is Royalty and Legacy, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And see if there's any other plants that I haven't used. Yeah, there's the hydrangea sprout. And I like it. It's pretty. It doesn't come in like swatches I love, and I have used it already back there, so I probably won't use it again. Here's the hydrangea monarch. That's beautiful. I think that's the one I used back here, but I can't be sure about that. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull some flowers. I'm going to pull the daisies because they're a friendly flower that is easy to maintain. Go ahead and just do 4 of those right here. And then I think I'm going to pull the dome of flowers, this one, for back here, but probably in a different swatch, maybe in the pink. I don't think my sister likes pink very much, but they don't have that many red swatches in general. I've noticed there just aren't that many red swatches for flowers. Like, it's a lot of pinks. Okay, we're gonna take one more over here, I think. No, because it doesn't fit. That's fine. And then there is this yellow one I really like, the sunburst one. I'm gonna just shove it in here wherever I feel like it could fit. Provides a lovely pop of color, so. Not sunburst, sunrose. The sunrose plant. Yeah, I think that's pretty. I think 2 over there looks good. And then here is a shrub full of flowers. We're going to shrink this one. It's red, so we're going to go ahead and use it. But we are going to shrink it once. And then inside the house, we do need to make sure that that we haven't got any plants coming through. And then this one is the bougainvillea, and it's a ground plant, basically. It's ground cover. So I'm going to go ahead and shove this right here, but I am going to go ahead and make sure it comes through the fence on the other side a little too. Yeah, just to give it room right there. I should probably put a gate right here. I don't really want one because I don't really want them coming through there. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Okay, so then what else? These are the Enchanted by Nature ones. These are the Enchanted by Nature plants, and I feel like they don't really fit the vibe. So even though they're gorgeous, I feel like they don't really fit the vibe. Okay, what about the Passion's Kiss one? If we shrink it down one, we could kind of hide it in just, you know, a couple of random spots. I do like crowding the flowers. I do. I admit it. It's one of the things I like best about Move Objects On is being able to crowd a ton of bushes and plants and flowers in together to make it all look a bit more alive. I'm going to go ahead and use this one. This one's from Horse Ranch, but it is definitely also kind of like a filler flower. It only has the one swatch, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of use it as a ground flower here, just in a couple of spots, I think. I think that makes sense. And then let's see what else. We also have these ones, and I love these. I think these are so beautiful. But to me personally, they fit tone more than they fit. I love these. These are so beautiful, but personally to me, they fit Tate more than they fit Kay. So we won't be using them. I also love this one. This is from Island Living, and it is such a gorgeous shrub. Like, it is so beautiful. But of course, you can shrink it, but the shrinking doesn't make it less long, you know? So it is still quite a long shrub, even shrunk. And you can see that, like, it's much smaller, but it's still a very long shrub. So I'm going to go ahead and park this one right here, and we will cover up for the fact that it's too long ourselves by putting in some other plants around it. And it's not coming through the fence here, so that's good. And then I love this one. This one's so beautiful, but again, I think it fits Tate better than it fits Kay. All right, and then we've also got this giant thing, which is so pretty, and I think that my sister would love it, actually. So I might see about lining the back of this with these. Now, the only question is, should I do this swatch? Or should I do this swatch with the blue-ish? I think the bluish one looks good, actually. So we're just going to line this, and I'm going to load the wall. I think we'll start here so it's not in the way of the window. And I don't think we'll do the whole way because I don't want it to block the windows. Like, they're really beautiful, but I don't want them to block the windows. And we could like do this one and shrink it down and layer it in there, but if we push it back any further, it's going to come through the house. And the only way to like test to see if that's happening is to go into the house, and it is. So I'm going to hold Alt and shove it back out of the house until it's not in the home anymore. And then we'll see how far it is. No, it covers up everything, so we're not going to use that. So what else could we use? This other one is from Island Living, and this one is really like kind of fanciful in a way, I feel like, and it's really great, but it is too big. So let's go back to our shrubs and see if we have anything. We do have this one, which came from the festive pack, and it will light up, and I like that, but I don't think my sister would. She would probably have her like the hedges, the normal hedges. I think she'd like these. So what if we just put them like every so often on this side and then pulled the flowers out? Not got rid of the flowers, but like pulled them to the front. The lavender doesn't look good pulled to the front of the bushes. So let's not do that. Undo all that. Okay, so what about, let's shrink this one. I wish this had a darker swatch. That that looks good there though, so. And it looks good shrunk down one. So we'll put a couple of these like weird unkempt hedges right here. And then I feel like we should be able to get in a couple more flowers because it does look a little bare. This is another one from Enchanted by Nature. This one I think could actually work. Let's shrink it down one and just place a couple of them. I'm actually going to swap this one for the lavender one just so the lavender one's still there. Okay. And then maybe we can put in one of these topiary trees. Nope, they're just a little bit too big. I can shrink it, I can, but the more you shrink stuff, the weirder they sometimes look. Like if we put that topiary tree there, no, doesn't look right. Okay, so then I think we're done with the side of the house in terms of the landscaping. And you can see here how the bushes come through the fence. So we are just gonna shove that forward so that it's not coming through the fence as much. On one side, I really wanted it to come through the fence, but these ones I don't want to have do that. I'm also gonna take the trees we've put over here and make sure they don't come through the fence too. Not like actually through it, like just make sure they don't, yeah, come through it as much, because like you can have some overgrowth, but you don't need a ton of it. Okay. All right, so then the only other thing I want to do is I'm going to paint on a little bit of soil terrain just underneath this flower bed. You know, plants do have shadow and they do need soil to grow, most of them anyway. Okay, cool. All right, and then at the very front, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing, a little bit of soil. There you go. And then we're going to fill in with some plants, flowers and things. Okay, so I think we're going to go ahead and use flowers rather than bushes. So let's check to see what we've got that we haven't already used. Also, I feel like some of my packs aren't showing up. Yeah, they weren't. Some of my packs weren't showing up. Okay, so now we should have slightly more options. Yeah, slightly more, but not that many. Odd. Anyway, some of my packs weren't showing up. Okay, here's the romantic garden, and I think we're gonna use one of these on each side, and then I think we'll also fill in with the wildflowers in red, just right here, as though possibly Kay picked some wildflowers and then planted them. I like that. That's neat. And then this is, I think this one is one she'd like, but I don't like how it looks like radishes. So maybe we'll take the red swatch. We're also going to size it down once. And we're going to put, I think, 2 of these. Like the swatch, ideally, like is her favorite colors, this one, but it looks like radishes. Like it does. It looks like a radish bush for some reason. Which, if you ask me, makes no sense. Why is it so flat and weird looking like that? That means it looks like a radish. And so all right, and then I'm going to also put some more lavender, and I'm just going to fill it in behind there. And then I think I'm going to take the bougainvillea again and shrink it all the way down and just use it to fill in this ground area. 1, 2, 3. I think that will look good in terms of as filler. 1, 2, 3. Like it'll make it look more organic. Yeah. 3. And I'm going to just like pad that out. Yeah, I think that looks good actually. So 2. We didn't have to do quite that many. We could have just shrunk it by 2 and that would also have worked. We are going to shrink one more by 3 though, because we do want it to fill in like a smaller space. Cool. And then additionally to that, I think I might put some sunflowers in. in the back. Just for like, you know, levity. Like my older sister's always like, Kay needs whimsy in their life, and Kay's always like, what? But I think sunflowers are a really happy flower, and that I can say for sure my sister could use. All right, so then additionally to that, I think I'm going to shrink this one down and shove it in right here because there's not quite enough blooms right there. It looks really weird, like bare. But shrunk down, this one's a good bloom filler in. And then this shrub can actually come back a bit. So we'll take a second one, shrink it down, and shove it right there. And I think that is good for the front. And then we can do the side yard too. Cool. I like that. We are going to go ahead and put a fence out, the little kind like this one, just to make that kind of squared off. I wish you could put the fences on the half thing though. Okay. So because of that, we are going to go ahead and fill in with some more soil. And we probably will fill in with some more flowers because now it seems obvious that there aren't enough. I'm going to go ahead and move this shrub to line up with the fence. I don't want it to go over it as much. And it's still not breaking in through here, so that's great. Okay. All right, so now let's go ahead and see if there's, how about we use this one and in yellow? Yeah, I like that. That's pretty. And it's really flat, so it does help fill in yellow. And then finally, maybe we could just do the wildflowers. If we shrink them down and then turn them around so that they're not coming out of there so much. The assorted wildflowers are base game, by the way. Okay, cool. And then that's the beginning. I think we have to move these shrubs back just a little bit. Yeah. So they aren't coming through the fence that way, which is fine. Cool. And then we want to move some of this a little bit as well. Like they can, it's a plant. You can't control where it's going to grow. But you can control in terms of Sims 4 where you're placing stuff. So we'll just shove things over a little bit. Okay, cool. I like that. I think that's a good front garden and a good skill area. And I like the side of the house too. If I could get that fence to do that, I would. But I don't think, like, I don't ever remember how to do the quarter tile placement. I don't know why I never remember how, but I never do. Look at that. That fits. That is really nice. So we'll shove this way, and we'll pick up this one and shove it forward. I think that even means we have a little bit more room for more of those plants because they are beautiful. I really like this one. This one's really cool. I'm gonna shrink it though. Yeah, I think we have room for one more, and if you shrink it down like all the way, it can be used as ground filler. We are going to go ahead and put in some ground cover though. And with this one, I do want it to look a little bit overgrown. So I think it's okay if it just peeks out like that. Yeah, I like that. That's cool. And you definitely, you know, sister-wise, she'd totally have a landscaper coming in. I mean, I'd even pay for that myself, so it would get done. It doesn't matter that much in Sims 4, though. The plants that grow, but you don't really take care of them, don't matter that much. Like they're kind of like fake plants. Let's fill in some of this so that we don't have dirt on the walkway. cool. I could have done the Stones of Eternal, like that would have been nice too. Okay, so that's that part of the landscaping totally done, which I think looks pretty good, to be honest. And then over here, I definitely want to put out like I want another bush like right here, like something that flowers, like not something that doesn't. And we use the dome full of flowers already. I'm gonna do baby show hidden objects. See if there's anything I was missing. Yeah, there was a couple. I like these. These are so cool. Forest of Flowers from Outdoor Retreat. They're gorgeous. We're gonna just pull those in so it's like this stuff's overgrowing to this side. I think that's cool. All right, and then I think now in the back is where we can go ahead and put this bush. I think we should shrink it though and just line this back area with it. Yep. And then I'm gonna pull some floor and create like a little patio seating area. And these are also from Romantic Garden, in case you wondered. I think 5 will fit along this wall. And then I have to make sure it's not coming through the house. Yeah, I think that's nice. And then we just make sure it's not coming through the house. And if it is coming through the house, doesn't matter where the stairs are, but right here it matters to me. I just don't want things coming through the house. We just hold Alt and shove it out just a little bit. That's all. Where the stairs are doesn't really matter because they won't get in the way of the Sims going up the stairs. All right, now I'm going to pull an outdoor flooring. I think maybe this one from Enchanted by Nature. I think this one's really pretty and I think it would work here. Floor by tile nut. And if we just pull out some of that, and then we can put a table on it. And I think we're going to go ahead and go for an outdoor table, like one that has the umbrella already. Because that way I don't have to do it myself. Although this one's cool. Look how cool that is. That's from the Adventure Awaits kit, which I also haven't really played with. This one's from Cats and Dogs. It's a picnic table with an umbrella. But what I'm looking for is an umbrellaed table that I feel like she would like. So these are from the Cool Kitchen kit. It's this one. This one's it. Okay. And then I'm just going to pull a couple of chairs. I'm not going to put as many chairs as fit around, partially because I really highly doubt that my sister would actually use 6 chairs. And I'm going to take this one from the tea set kit. I think this one's the good one. Like, should I do it in black or white? I think white. And she doesn't really like green, so the brown swatch is nice too. Here's the white one with the cushion. We'll do this one. Okay. I'm gonna move these around a little. Cool. And now she has somewhere to sit outside. Okay. And then we do have this area right here, which could definitely be used for flowers. So let's go ahead and see what else we might have. Look at all the alien shrubs. They're so weird. Because, yeah, this area could definitely be used for flowers. Ooh, maybe we can use this here if we shrink it. Because I think that she likes this shrub. Like, I think this shrub screams Kay to me. And at least it's, you know, takes care of itself. And it's not coming to the wall. There you go. Okay, so the very last thing we're going to do in terms of landscaping is we're going to put some outside lights around the place. And I think I want to use the ones from Enchanted by Nature because I feel like they're so beautiful. Oh, hey, look, the pressed candles. And I forgot that Enchanted by Nature doesn't actually have an outdoor light, but it totally should. You know what I mean? Like it should. It should have an outdoor light. So we'll put this candle right here. And we'll put another one over. Nope. Okay, I think we'll use this one outside. I think we could get away with using this one outside as a light source. And we can kind of hide it in here too. Nope, it just comes through the wall. Okay, so how about we use these on the side of the house? Yeah, I like that. That's cool. And they will provide light, which is good. And then we'll also climb some up from right here. And then let's see. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. That's neat. Yeah, I think that looks good. Okay. All right, and then we also have this one. But there's already a light on the outside, so we don't need any more. Okay, cool. And then I do feel like we kind of need some lighting on this side of the house, but I'm not going to do the Enchanted by Nature ones. I think we'll just see, like, are there outdoor lights that we want to use. Oh, and we will put one of these over here on the table. Just, she's not allergic to mosquitoes as far as I know, but I am, so if I'm going to be visiting my sister, which of course I would, then I need to make sure there's some help for that. Okay, here's one from Cottage Living, which I think is excellent and looks really good. And then I also think we can put a couple in here. Or next to here. I was hoping they would kind of blend in more, but they don't. So this one I think is from the kid camper kit or something. The kids room kit. This looks good in here. That's cool. We can do this one. That's great. Okay, so let's pick this one up and maybe just plonk it right there. Just for, you know, beauty's sake or whatever. That's a light that my sister I think would really like. So, and then I think we can also put this out on the table too. Yeah, cool. I like the look of that, and I think my sister would too. All right, so that is going to be the end of the landscaping, and I feel like it turned out really well, and I'm really pleased by it. And I hope that you enjoyed it. I feel like we could use like something. Let's see if we can get like a wall decoration that's like a plant. I mean, of course we can. Like it's not that. I mean, Sims 4 has like tons. Oh, the vines. I forgot all about the vines. I wanted to do vines. I did. I wanted to do vines at the house. So we're just going to go ahead and put some in. And these are the ones from vampires. I feel like this one, yeah, fits on this side better than it fits anywhere else. Gonna have vines crawling up the place in some places, and I forgot that I wanted to do that, so let's go ahead and get that done real fast. Not the weird gross ones, but the other ones. And then maybe we could have the herbs hanging outside too, just for like these are from Realm of Magic, but if we had them it would imply that the gardening was going well and that she was having like an overabundance of herbs she had to hang outside, which I think is kind of funny and like cool. All right, do we have any more? Yes, we also have the jungle adventure ones. I'm going to shrink that because that's huge. And we definitely want to use the jungle adventure ones too, but we make them smaller as they go up. Oh, that's really interesting how it doesn't even show up if it's too small. Cool. All right, I'm going to load the whole house so that I can pull some vines up the side. I'll cut out the coughing part. Here are vines from cottage living, which I feel like are very appropriate. And then go ahead and just put vines pretty much wherever we personally want them. Yeah, I like that. And then we can go ahead and take this one too. This is the smaller one, and it will help fold in. Cool, I like that. And then I think we can do some on the roof too. Nope. Maybe the vampire ones would go up on the roof. Can't ever know. All right, so then let's go ahead and take this one from Jungle Adventure. And we also need the ones from Vampires. So, Enchanted by Nature, Jungle Adventure, Island Living might have ones, Seasons maybe. But let's go ahead and get Vampires and Jungle Adventure and Cottage Living. I don't remember where Cottage Living is. Here. And then we're just going to go through for vines. Yeah, like those. Those are spectacular. Like, I love these ones from Vampires because they do kind of just fit right in. And you don't really have to think about it. Cool. I like that. That looks good. And we're going to put some on this side too because I really just want like vines all over the side of the house. I'm also going to like put up this little wreath for no reason. Vines just climbing along the side. Cool. And then we can use the ones from Jungle Adventure as well. Gotta go back. I'm not gonna put any on the front of the house, I don't think. I just don't think that makes as much sense. But I do feel like she'd be open to this. The vines. Especially if she didn't have to take care of them herself. I feel like she'd like that. I also feel like Jungle Adventure should have more than it does. As weird as that might seem. Okay, and then Enchanted by Nature has some too, and they are beautiful. And they really just kind of clip on to the windows. And then we also have these ones from Jungle Adventure, which have colors. And I really like them. They're really beautiful, but I don't want to go overboard with the color part. So we'll just put a few of them right there. And then we can line the windows with the Enchanted by Nature ones. If we want to, which we do. Okay. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I don't think it looks scary. Okay, so then the only other thing is I didn't really want to put vines on top of here, but actually I think one vine on top of these windows makes sense. Yep. Okay, and then over here, do you want to kind of zhuzh it up with the Enchanted by Nature ones a little? So we'll go ahead and do that one. And we'll do these little ones. And I'll do this one over on this side. There we go. And I think that's complete. I think the vines pull it together in terms of the landscaping, which I like. And there we go. There's A Cottage for Kay. And there's all the landscaping we're going to do, including the vines. I feel like we probably should have made sure we could put some more plants on the roof. But not all of them go on the roof. Like, the ones that they've decided go on your roofing are odd. Like, you can put some of them, but other ones don't go even with move objects. And that's one of the things that I just really don't like. Like, move objects is on, they should go on the roof no matter what. That's how I feel about it. And they just don't. Like, even if you place them, sometimes they don't show up. Like, this is a fern, and it really shouldn't be having a problem clipping onto the roof, but it is. You know? Yeah. And these ones all fit, but none of the other ones do. So let's hit clear. And then, like, see, you can see how they should go on the roof, and they only go in certain locations, even with move objects on. Like, they don't really, it's not an efficient system, like, by any stretch of the imagination. They just don't really fit. And, like, you want them to, but they don't. Like, I can't put anything in this gap. I can't put almost anything on the rest of the roof. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me at all. So we're basically just stuck with the bits of ones we've got on the roof from the very beginning of the build. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this video. I'm going to edit it now and get it up on the channel. Thanks so much for watching, travelers. I hope that you're happy I'm back, and also I'm really happy to be back, and I'm looking forward to editing this video and getting it up on the channel. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Make sure you leave me a like and a comment. I'd really like it if you guys would engage. If anybody's watching my videos, please let me know, because it doesn't feel like it. And from all the information data I get from YouTube, it doesn't seem like anyone's watching my videos. So let me know if you are, and if you enjoyed it. This will be up in the gallery, but not until it's finished on the inside. But there's the landscaping, and I hope you enjoyed it. And that was landscaping for A Cottage for Kay. Kay, I did this for you. I hope you like it. I love you. And yeah, so anyway, thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in, basically. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button if you're not. I hope you're having a great day wherever you're at in yours. Bye, travelers.